Hello and welcome to MBC News. I'm your anchor, Dooza Dragonash, and here we have three, wishful thinking for four, pictures of perfection. We have Sigmund Learminster.
Good evening.
We have Malburn's writer.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, or tomorrow, depending on wherever and whenever you are.
And editorial clarity.
Hello.
Now, of possibly more interest after being immortalised in the Facebook film Social Network, the Winklevoss Twins have been made to accept a settlement with Facebook, valued at $65 million. The US appeal court finally ruled this week, although the Winklevosses were not taking it lying down, and said that the deal was unfair as true figures from Facebook had been hidden from them. The suit had been brought about as the Winklevosses claimed that the idea for Facebook had been theirs and that Mark Zuckerberg had nicked it, basically.
And according to Computer World, Outsmart in Auckland, New Zealand have spent the last 3 years building up their virtual world, Small Worlds, and they're up to having 6.5 million signed in and around 500,000 every month. Now Outsmart are taking their world to the mobile market. They're also going to be looking at social gaming and are promising new products. Now with a 65% female take-up, predominantly in their teens or young mothers, it'll be interesting to see what happens as their catchment user grows older. Bolstered by their program proceeds and very little venture investment, Small Worlds has been developed mainly on self-funding. They'll now be moving into the non-English speaking market.
Thank you, Siggy. And now it's over to TechSpot with Malburn's writer.
Well, thank you, Dooza. A few items for you this week. First off, Reaction Grid, one of the virtual world platforms, they have two methods of interacting. One is an OpenSim-based platform. The other is a web-based platform called Jive. And this week, version 1.1 of Jive is released. It now offers improved chat between avatars, the ability to go to your dressing room and change your appearance at any time, and various improvements in the way the web plugin actually works. There's a lot of other technical stuff too, but I won't bore you with that. If you want to know more, check out reactiongrid.blogspot.com. Now, the other virtual world platform, Second Life and Linden Labs, have introduced something called soft physics into the latest pre-release of Second Life Viewer 2. Soft physics allows you to put a sort of invisible item of clothing onto your avatar. It can be a chest, a belly, or a butt, as the Americans seem to think is the polite word for it, and various other parts of your anatomy. And you can then choose how much it dampens and how much it wobbles and all sorts of things. It's like an instant flexi for your skin. And suffice to say there are 5 options available for female avatars, but there are only 2 options available for male avatars. We are restricted to our belly and our butt moving. Females have some other options, and it's called Enhanced Avatar Physics. So look forward to that on the main grid shortly, because they do...
I'm sorry. Yes, I have to interrupt you there, Mal, as I'm sure you knew I would.
Yes, can't get this over quick, can I?
No, you can't. And you know what I'm going to say is, why are we going to be greeted with movable bellies and movable backsides for men, which patently aren't what we're into, and yet the men have all the delightful parts of women that are supposed to be moving.
I really don't know, but obviously it detects what sex of avatar you are and restricts your choices accordingly. We'll have to see how this pans out, but I think it would be quite a popular thing. There's been a very similar thing implemented in one of the independent browsers for a while, and certain people seem to enjoy that kind of thing. So basically, they'd say it will bring more realism to the way your avatar looks. And
hectic.
I suppose as television and machinima people, we should be interested in the potential of it. Okay, well that actually brings me very conveniently onto my next item. Asus Computers, that's ASUS, did actually announce quite a while ago that they will be bringing in the Connect sensing software into new computers. But they've just announced today, in fact, I believe, that they're introducing something called the WAVI Excitation, just an X and then TION. And it allows you, it not only connects a kind of Connect device to your PC, but you can also connect it to your television so that you can actually relay virtual worlds from your PC onto your television set. And they've actually licensed the software directly from Mindscape, so they're not. It's not Kinect from Microsoft. It's the same technology licensed direct to put in their own computers. And basically, they're aiming to bring a sort of intuitive entertainment portal into your living room. And the screenshots show very Second Life type virtual environments. So that could be interesting. And of course, the idea of these sensors is they detect your body movements. So if nothing is wobbling, then nothing will be wobbling on screen either. Which is what it's sort of connected neatly. Anyway, final item is a company called Vuxix. There's too many of these name companies, really. VUZIX. They're a UK-based company, and they are supposedly a leader in video eyewear. And they've introduced a limited edition VR virtual reality bundle for PC gamers, which they call the RAP 920, which is obviously a really catchy thing to go into the shop and ask for. Basically, it has true stereo sound and eyewear to basically give you a sort of surround sound, surround environment thing if you're playing games. Which I would think would play nicely with the kind of spatial surround we have in Second Life at the moment. It's priced, the kit is, it's priced at £400 UK, which isn't exactly cheap, but you do actually get a whole bundle for that price, and it's saving about £100 or almost on what you pay for the whole the kit individually. So if you want to know a bit more about that, go to www.vuzix.com and then /UK site, all one word, and then go into consumer products. And that's it, I think. Back to you, Dizza.
Thank you very much, Mal. And now for these messages.
Alter Ego announces the Who Loves You photo contest. Win amazing prizes from Alter Ego. It is free to enter the contest. Once all the entries are in, voting will open at 10 linden per vote. You have 2 weeks to enter, from April 6th through April 20th. You have 1 week to vote from April 20th through April 27th. So let the games begin, and good luck. May the most love win.
And welcome back. Now, according to a World Bank study released last week, online gaming is now worth an annual $3 billion. Now, this is proving to be a boon for Asian migrant workers who play games all day to amass virtual currency and then sell it to wealthy Westerners at a profit. The process known as gold farming started with World of Warcraft, where low-educated labourers in Asia would spend hours. In fact, it was banned in China, wasn't it? This gold farming. So they spend all day picking up gold, swords and gems that enhance the player's status. Then gaming studios, which employ the players, sell the virtual goods to online retailers. Those retailers then sell those items to players in North America and Europe who are unwilling to play the games all day to gather the items on their own. The report also focuses on a trend in which companies pay low-skilled workers in India, Bangladesh and the Philippines to like their Facebook fan pages or become a follower of that company on Twitter, which inflates a brand's popularity. Sigmund, what is the point of a gamer not gaming but paying somebody else to do the gaming for them?
Well, actually, I think there's a lot of people in Second Life who would actually love to be able to spend all day and all night there, and log on to real life occasionally. But, again, a lot of us are part-time gamers. I don't know about everybody else here, but I have a full-time job that I have to do in order to get some money, to play games. So it makes sense for many of us to have our regular jobs, then log on at night, and then buy the stuff we want rather than have to go and gather it yourself. And as you said, this was banned at one point in China, but it represents an economy. There's a way for people to make money here, and if there's a way for people to make money, by golly, they're going to go and do it. So it's really, I think, just a matter of time. If you don't have the time, but you have the money, you can pay for it.
Back to flip it. So. Okay, let's carry on.
Yes, and carrying on. Now, if you're mildly paranoid about Linden Lab tracking your IP and your chat records, or about Facebook detailing your activity, then turn down the volume for this next item, and especially if you're also the owner of a smartphone. Now, a security company called Veracode has recently examined the code for the music distributor Pandora, and they looked at their Android app and concluded that it not only allows 5 mobile ad networks to access users' accounts, but also to get your GPS locations and the potential to find out your birthday, your gender, and your zip code. Now, this comes in the wake of Pandora being investigated by U.S. federal authorities on suspicion of collecting data illegally. So this is just one more example of why your free apps may not be quite as free as you think.
Well, I've got an Android now, and I'm spending most of my time switching off the bit that says, GPS, find your location. Because apparently that seems to come up with any report that goes back to Google.
And absolutely, and one of the interesting things that I did read about this, and I can't verify the truth of it, but it seemed credible, was that with Pandora, people were complaining that actually there was no mention on the original download of the GPS access. So if that was true, then that would be an infringement, I think, on privacy. But again, the reality is that for most of us, we download these things, click OK, click OK, click OK, and we've done it. Yeah. I never read the fine print, and most of the time I think that's what people who are using these for advertising, data collection, just rely on. The fact that we don't do it, we just do it and we're away and we're happy with it. But for those of us who are paranoid, many of these apps that are free are not free, and I've said this many times on NBC, there is no such thing as a free lunch, there's no such thing as a free app, so somebody somewhere will be paying for it.
Now, in the US, the House of Representatives voted on Friday to reject internet neutrality rules that were adopted last year. These were intended to keep big internet service providers from blocking certain traffic. House Republicans pushed through a measure disproving the Federal Communication Commission's rules in a 240 to 179 vote. Internet service providers want to be able to have different tiers of access to services where the FCC wants to make access to all websites and services equal to everyone. That's already happened here, hasn't it? BT Internet have already sort of said that they don't kind of say we're giving preference. Preferential treatment.
They do it surreptitiously. I mean, basically, it's turning the web into a tiered broadcast system, and the idea of equal access to information for everybody. The democratic dream of the internet is dying, really.
Okay.
Well, Moving on from there to something not quite as serious. Now, if you're both a woman and a software whiz in Second Life, then you might want to consider signing on for a web programming job with a company in Amersham, England, which is looking for coders who prefer a casual lifestyle. And by casual, they mean naked. Yes, this naturist-orientated company called Nude House, and that's the name, is looking for programmers who are skilled in HTML, Java, and being in the buff. Now, the company spokesman Chris Taylor said that, quote, "As far as I'm aware, this is not only the first UK office job for naturists in web coding or web selling, but it's also the first worldwide facility for naturists to earn substantial sums of money from work that incidentally provides them with the capability of working without any clothes," unquote. But there's good news for both guys and gals who are not programmers. Now, the company is also looking for front desk sales staff. So start polishing off your resume and download job applications from www.nude-house.com. That's www.nude-house.com.
You know, that would suit me absolutely fine because that's the way I work anyway. But
Jesus.
No, at this very moment. At this moment.
So describe what you're wearing right now, Melbourne.
It's a bit cold right now, so I put a thing on.
Thing, folks. A thing.
If you're both a woman and a software whiz, which, sounds a bit sexist to me.
Well, and I did.
Were they specific about females?
They were specific at this point, gosh, if I could remember the reason why. They were very specific at this point. They were looking for female software engineers. But as I said, if you want to work front of house, or you want to work up front, then there are opportunities.
Fully front.
Fully front. Yeah. As we say, we only report the news. We don't make it up.
No, but I'm considering actually now an all-nude rule for MBC. Okay. Now, Eddie, you've been very quiet during this show.
Not surprising.
And Eddie, have you broken some kind of record? You've just done a 24-hour marathon broadcast on Bottle Radio for the first year's birthday, haven't you?
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, just over 26 hours, because I had to do a show at the end as well. And that was on the radio, but 24 hours is the main thing, yeah. I don't know, I haven't really looked too much into it, but yeah, it was fun.
He is sleepy, isn't he, folks? You could tell. So, when did you wake up today? How long did you sleep for afterwards?
I logged out I started at 8 p.m. UK time on the Saturday. I finished at 10 p.m. on Sunday. I logged out right after 10 p.m. and got something to eat, watched a little bit of TV, and then I went to bed at about 12 and fell asleep about that time, so about midnight. And then I got up at 2 p.m. today.
Quite right.
So
and we were talking a little bit that you did have some kind of emotional disturbances towards the end, didn't you?
A little bit. Why, are we going to go into them?
No, we don't have to go into them, but it started to feel a bit ratty, and you're usually quite equable.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Towards the end, I was feeling a little bit strange. I was still quite lively all the way through it. I thought I was quite lively. I never felt really down throughout the whole thing. I thought kept quite a good mood. But as time went on, and I knew that, I think it was the problem that I knew it was close to the finish, and it was that feeling like, oh, I just want to go get it done now.
Yeah.
You know, I knew it's close, and I was getting a little bit ratty, yeah, and I was losing my temper a little bit, but I don't think I hope it didn't show that I was a slight little bit. And then I was doing this fashion show and the sim crashed, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I just really wanted to get it finished. But yeah, I thought it was quite good. I think I kept it together quite well, and you kept doing a test with me, and I passed it every time.
And what was the test?
How to do an IM.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he had to keep saying, and there were a couple of hiccups when he couldn't say it, and then he got into a sort of role of, yeah. So I really wish I'd been there at the end to test your IMing. I think it might have been at the end.
Oh, for God's sake, Dozer! How many more times? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, maybe.
Okay, thank you, Eddie. Now, AM Radio artist and builder extraordinaire in Second Life has given 6 months' notice of his Sims closing so that anyone interested can go and have a look at them before they disappear. He said he didn't want to create drama or shock people or his regular visitors, in fact, by announcing it just before it happened, and this way the residents of Second Life get used to the idea and with what he hoped would be minimum impact. The Sims are quite beautiful and are built as 3D paintings which the viewer can explore. They number the quiet and the far away amongst them, well worth a visit before they disappear. Although NBC did hear you can get a licensed OR file of Far Away in OpenSim.
And moving on from there, in the Tetiro Nino concurrency reference pages, it looks like the hot topic is that concurrency is down again. So what do we think about that?
I'm getting a bit bored with it, actually.
You get the same thing. I mean, you've got to take seasonal things into account. I mean, it is spring, so the sort of hunker down winter period where everybody's on a loss is sort of past.
Well, it's spring in this hemisphere.
Mm-hmm.
It's not spring everywhere.
Oh, well, that's true. Yes, that's true.
It's as if it's one of the few statistics that we really have. So if people want to look at getting some sort of measure about what's happening or what isn't happening or what changes are there, then concurrency is a number. You can see it, and we can all do that when we first log on. The times I'll just have a quick look and it says how many people are logged on. But as you say, it's difficult to know what it means. It's a number, but does it tell you everything you need to know? I don't know. It's not an exact science.
What do you need to know?
It's only about a week ago that we heard that the venture capital share index for Linden Labs had actually risen. So there's not necessarily any sort of correlation between two pieces of information like that.
Right, let's get on with the public service announcements before poor old Eddie falls asleep.
Okay, now I'm fine. Alrighty, so we've got a few things this week. The University of Western Australia's 3D Art Challenge, which is a monthly thing here in Second Life, have announced its March winners. Artists Ginger Alsop and Gleman Jun won the top prize of the March entries, making it a tie. That's the first one I know of that's been joint winners. Yeah, giving them both a joint prize money total of 8,750 lindens each.
Well, is this the one that was done without scripting as well? Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Yeah. They were the first pieces to win without scripting.
Yep, it was. And we will report on the April winners next month. Yeah. That's right. Right, the Second Life Community Convention has announced that it shall be taking place sometime in August in Linden Labs base in San Francisco. There's no clear dates yet that I know of within the month of August of when it shall be, but it's most likely to be around the same time as last year, which was the 13th and 15th. So just check your calendar and keep a lookout for the dates when they come through. Now, a call for survey participants has begun, which is run by the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. The survey is being conducted by Avatar Hartwig Valerian, and he's researching multiracial identity in Second Life. It is required that you are to be multiracial, which means from more than one racial bloodline, to do the survey, and whoever does will receive a 100 linden reward from Hartwig when completed. I could read out the entire link for you to go to the survey, but we'll be here until like a week next Saturday, so it'll just be easier going on to metaversejournal.com website and grabbing the link from there. But apart from that, that's all we've got this week. So back to you, Dusa.
Thank you very much, Eddie. And that's all we've got time for today. And so it's goodbye from my images of perfection. I can't wait to see them with wobbling stomachs and backsides. Say goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye.
Good night. We'll see you all next week.
And toodaloo with a wobble.
Dear God. Okay, and it's good night from me, or goodbye from me, and stay safe from men with bellies at MBC News.